Hello, I'm Sarah D. Welcome to my channel. I'm going to sing one song today, and it's about words. It's about words we speak, about words that we hear, and sometimes the words we speak are not the words that are heard, or at least not the words that are understood. Have you ever noticed that? Interesting, right? Sometimes very, actually, confusing and sometimes very hurtful. This song came about when it was actually August 28th, 2005. My husband and I were talking about something. I don't remember what it was we were talking about, and I don't remember what I heard him say, but I know what I heard him say was terrible. It was like he called me a bad name or said something really awful about me. That's what I heard. And thankfully, I had enough, wisdom to say, wait a minute, why did you say that? And he had enough wisdom to answer, what do you mean? What do you think I said? And when I told him what I thought he said, I didn't say that. And I said, well, what did you say? And he told me what he said. And I said, well, that doesn't even rhyme with what I heard you say. And he said, what did you hear me say? And I told him what I heard him say, and it was awful. And he said, I didn't say that. I promise I didn't. And I believed him. And we moved through that. But that wasn't the first time it was happening. That was happening a lot at that time. And it was just like there was this fog and this just darkness in the air that was making it so we couldn't communicate. So that's what this song's about. Maybe you can relate. It's called There Are Some Words. Better left unsaid. There are some words better left unsaid. There are some days I swear we are dead wrong all the time. Why can't you hear what I say? Why don't you know what I mean? What is this fog blinding us from finding what we need? There are some nights the moon doesn't shine, and my dreams sweet wither on the vine in the darkened sky. Why can't I hear what you say? Why don't I know what you mean? What is this fog blinding us from finding what we need? Need your love, need to love you, feel safe in your way. Need your love, need to love you, in time we'll be okay. Just when the answers belong to me, my feet are sure. The ground trembles beneath, uncertainty stir. There are some wars that never end. There are some will the Father's voice? Why can't we hear what he says? Why don't we know what he means? Why is this fog blinding us from finding what we need? Need your love, need to love you, feel safe in the way. Need to love you in time. So since then, and maybe I was learning it then, I'm not sure. But at that point, I knew that when I spoke the truth in love, and when my husband spoke the truth in love, that things would work better. And when we would try to listen. But sometimes when you're trying to listen, you can't listen, you can't hear. It's like I heard something he didn't say, and I really can't remember what it was, but I know it didn't rhyme with what he said. So it wasn't even like I misunderstood. Like the word changed in the air, or my ear just changed it. So it's interesting, right? Has that ever happened to you? Have you ever thought somebody said something to you and you felt horrible and you never even told them about it? And now you don't have anything to do with them anymore? And you lost a friendship? That can happen too. In my song, I talk about why can't I hear what he says, and I talk about why can't he hear what I say, and that there's this fog blinding us from finding what we need, and that love is what we need, and we need to feel safe with each other. And then as soon as I think I get things figured out, like I got life all figured out, I got it all figured out, guys, listen. Something shifts. And I go, oh my goodness. Nope. We're starting over again. And then I talk about wills. Our will. There are some of us. Oh, actually, first I talk about wars. There are some wars that never end. And you know what's interesting? We just had a war in America. Did you know that? And I guess we do it every 4 years. My husband was explaining this to me, how our elections are basically a civil war. They become more and more like that because we've been becoming so divided in our beliefs. I don't know. The United States are forgetting that there's this unity that we want to be working for. And that means there's compromise. I mean, that's what it means. But anyway, so there are some wars that never end, and there are some wills that never bend to the Father's voice. And if we would bend to the Father's voice, if we would bend to truth, and not to the truth that says you're bad and I'm good, but the truth that you're flawed and so am I, let's see how we can make something better out of this mess. And I'll give a little bit, and you give a little bit, I'll take a little bit, you take a little bit, and we'll create something that's better. Neither one of us are going to get exactly what we want, but it will be better than if we're, killing each other. I mean, that's unfortunately always an option. So anyway, that's what the song's about. And part of the reason that I've learned recently why those words get shifted in our head and why we can't hear things clearly is because our cognitive brain, our cerebral cortex, goes offline. Somehow we get emotionally triggered, and we're not even thinking. We're reacting to something that we heard in the past. Anyway, there's something I'm going to put a link. Well, actually, I won't put a link for it unless somebody asks me to. There's something called EMDR. We still struggle with things like this. And if you're human, I'm sure, I don't know, I'm thinking that you probably do too. There are some conversations that you have or some situations that come up in your close relationships or your frequent relationships that cause hurt or misunderstanding. And sometimes talking through it isn't sufficient. It just keeps being a thing. And EMDR, I have a little link, just a 5-minute little process, and I'm using that. And I think it's helpful. So, I mean, you can Google EMDR, but if you want to have the link that I am using, just a 5-minute little process that I think is very helpful, let me know. Don't message me, comment on this, on the YouTube thing. All right? So, I hope that you can have your conversations and understand each other, and if you can't, that you're able to figure out how to get to that point of understanding where you give a little and they give a little, and you take a little and they take a little, and the world works better. I'm Sarah D. Make it a great day.